to Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today Around Kansas starts with a ghostly tale of exorcism at Fort Riley in the 1870s. Next, we introduce you to Sam Ramey, an opera singer from Colby, Kansas, who has performed around the world for 30 years. Then enjoy a poem from Ron Wilson and learn about Judge Richard Rogers and his decades of service to the state and the nation. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road. Good morning. It must be Wednesday because we're in the Twilight Zone in the black and white Dillon house.
Oh man, I always wanted to star in some black and white show, you know it?
Well, they had told us that this place really looks like the 1930s in black and white, so we thought we'd start out today in black and white, so don't adjust your TV set. So, what's been up with you?
Cable didn't turn off your color, don't worry about it. I have been so busy. I led some Lewis and Clark tours, and I think I've got some great pictures from some of those. Went to Caw Point and just some great Lewis and Clark sites with their conference. I was down in Council Grove for the Michael Martin Murphey concert he did down there. He just does so much for sites all over the state of Kansas. And I think Heather was out in Oberlin for the fair. The fairs are going on all over the place. Send us your fair pictures. We love taking a look at those. I went to the Prairie Band Casino for the B.J. Thomas concert.
Yeah, that was great, wasn't
it? It was wonderful, and what a wonderful venue. You know, take advantage of those things because they're just so, it's such an intimate little venue, and you've got great groups that come through. Oh, it was wonderful. Yeah, it was a great show. Great show.
Mostly I've been in my backyard. I have a really exciting life. So no, it's fun to go all around Kansas.
So it's been a really, like you said, it's been a really busy time around Kansas. There's so much going on. All the fairs are going on and festivals everywhere you turn. And my schedule's really getting busy for September. There are so many conferences, fun times, tours, events coming up in September that I'd have to be 10 people to get to every place we're supposed to be.
Hey, and the Kansas City Renaissance Festival, that's coming up too, and that's always a lot of fun. If you've never been to that, you might be tuned in to renradio.net because we have a whole bunch of tickets to give away.
Oh, that'll be great. And
yes.
Remember, we did an episode of Around Kansas on the Ren Fest. I don't know, time slips away, last year or the year before. But it gives you, go back through our archives, just go to aroundkansas.com and you can look at the episodes and go back to that episode on the Ren Fest. That was a lot of fun.
We'll be back.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
Biodiesel made from sustainable resources is diversifying our fuel supply. This year, biodiesel will displace over 1 billion gallons of fossil fuel nationwide. It's making our economy stronger and our communities healthier. It's working here and across America. Get biodiesel going in your community. Visit americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We're having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
I'm Dr. Frank Lyons, a physician here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. As one of the only standalone stem cell centers in the U.S., we use your stem cells as therapy for arthritis and some autoimmune diseases.
I'm Dr. Andrew Poe, here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Utilizing the latest technology under strict protocols, we're able to harvest your stem cells from your own fat to treat a variety of medical conditions. The best part about it is, it's a same-day surgical procedure and requires no general anesthesia.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life. I think we're in color now.
Well, we should have stayed in black and white for this one, probably, for the exorcism, because this is actually, I didn't research this myself. My good friend Dina Anson did the research on this, and the article first appeared in a magazine that I used to publish called the Journal of, the Kansas Journal of Military History. And it's a really interesting story from Fort life out at Fort Riley, back in the 19th century, something you might not think about a lot, exorcism. And this was so interesting because I was listening to a story on NPR the other day, and I think they were in the Philippines, and the church there in the Philippines is increasing their exorcist staff, and they're performing exorcisms like crazy. So yeah, it's the Twilight Zone was really appropriate for today.
Okay, so let's take a look.
As a woman of the prairie in the 19th century, Mrs. Mose Waters had endured the usual challenges of frontier life, but she refused to share her Fort Riley home with a ghost. Her husband was the post sutler, or store owner. At night, Mrs. Waters heard what sounded like a log chain being dragged across the floor. A servant claimed to have seen a ghostly form peering in the window. She panicked and threw the iron through the window at the apparition. Finally, the post commander wearied of Mrs. Waters' complaints and took action. He paid Father Carius, a priest at St. Xavier Catholic Church in Junction City, to come to the post and expel the spirit. The details of the exorcism and identity of the ghost have been muddled with time. One account claimed that the ghost was that of a woman who was buried behind the house, having drowned herself in a well following a failed romance. Another said it was a woman who had died during a cholera outbreak. The actual history of the house was mentioned in 1926 when a cavalry captain published a history of the fort. He noted Building 124 was built in 1865 by the fort's first sutler. Mose Waters was hired as a storekeeper in 1874, and that's when the strange sights and sounds began. Father Carius was apparently successful in banishing the ghost from inside the dwelling, although a shadowy figure was often reported outside the home. The building was torn down in 1939.
Kansas is a trademark program that helps Kansas businesses grow, produce, process, or manufacture Kansas products. Let's catch up with Flint Hills Aromatherapy, located in Atlanta, Kansas, close to the Oklahoma border. Inspired by the small seed of an idea, Flint Hills Aromatherapy believes in the power of aromatherapy to create a better life for you and your family. Specializing in marketing the finest pure essential oils available today, they use these same oils sales across their entire line of aromatherapy products. With many products to offer, Flint Hills Aromatherapy has 100% natural ear candling cones, 100% soy wax candles, exotic body butters, lotions, scrubs, and sprays, massage oils, mineral bath salts, pet products, and so much more. Visit their website at www.flinthillsaromatherapy.com for a complete list of their products.
I'm Dr. Frank Lyons, a physician here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. As one of the only standalone stem cell centers in the U.S., we use your stem cells as therapy for arthritis and some autoimmune diseases.
I'm Dr. Andrew Poe. Here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center, utilizing the latest technology under strict protocols, we're able to harvest your stem cells from your own fat to treat a variety of medical conditions. The best part about it is, it's a same-day surgical procedure and requires no general anesthesia.
When your living depends on agriculture, you can depend on KFRM 550 AM. If you're in the southwest three-fourths of Kansas or the northern half of Oklahoma, catch us at 550 AM on the radio dial. But if that isn't you, listen on your cell phone at TuneIn Radio or on your computer at KFRM.com. We promise to keep you informed, entertained, and company as you go through your day. KFRM 550 AM, the voice of the plains. We would like to join your management team.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com. And we're back again, and in color, but we're still at the Dillon House. Now, again, about the Dillon House, it's right across from the state capitol in Topeka, and really it is available for all kinds of events and meetings and all of that. So,
weddings.
Right. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, and we're at various places in here to do our introductions and all of that. And I would imagine, now it kind of echoes in here right now, and I would imagine if an opera singer came in here, it would be rather fantastic, don't you think?
I think it would, especially if you had somebody of the quality of Sam Ramey with that incredible bass voice that would just bounce off the walls and send shivers up your spine, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. Yes, he is another performer from the state of Kansas and happens to be an opera singer and one of the most world-renowned. So let's take a look. How would you imagine the voice of the devil? Deep, commanding, chilling, forceful. Maybe something like Sam Ramey. If in fact the devil sounds like Sam Ramey, it would explain how the devil lures and charms people into his clutches. For almost 3 decades, Samuel Ramey has reigned as one of the music world's foremost interpreters of bass and bass baritone operatic and concert repertoire. A reviewer commented, his grand bass was disarming. Its even, deep tone would represent everything sinister and evil if Ramey's singing wasn't so gorgeously musical. Although his first 2 arias were sung by a devil character, how can such artistic beauty be hated? Heralded as one of the most extraordinary singers of the past 30 years, Ramey continues to perform at the world's most important opera houses and concert stages: New York, San Francisco, Paris, Zurich, Munich, Vienna. He's performed with the most acclaimed symphonies and the most respected conductors. Ramey was born in Colby in 1942. He graduated from Colby High School and studied music at K-State and at Wichita State. He is a distinguished professor of opera at Wichita State. He holds the record for being the most recorded bass in history, with more than 80 recordings, which have won nearly every award possible, including 3 Grammys. Ramey is seen frequently on television in appearances with Live from the Met and Live from Lincoln Center. as well as other productions taped for PBS. Perhaps the greatest compliment came from a reviewer who said, "If Dark Chocolate had a sound, it would be Ramey's voice." Dark Chocolate, or the devil himself. What we Kansans know is that Ramey sings with the fullness of the western wind.
Ainsi ton galant appelle.
Another great Kansan around Kansas.
From the Land of Kansas is a trademark program that helps Kansas businesses grow, produce, process, or manufacture Kansas products. Let's meet Britt's Garden Acres, a family-owned farm on the outskirts of Manhattan. They grow and sell different types of produce, from strawberries to cabbage and so much more. Their flower selection is just as large, with pansies, petunias, marigolds, well, too many to list here. Supporting local markets and providing healthy and tasty foods is their goal. So in addition to flowers and vegetables, Britt's also offers local grass-fed beef, organic pork, raw honey, and Mexican vanilla, along with fantastic jams and salsas. For a fun family event, grab the kids and come to Britt's for a tour of the farm or a barn party. Plus in the fall, they have a huge pumpkin patch with hayrack rides, corn mazes, and a petting zoo too. For more information, go to britsfarm.com.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Along the Chisholm Trail is a poem I wrote to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the Chisholm Trail's founding. 1867 is really credited as the first year of the big cattle drives from Texas up to Abilene. The poem is entitled Along the Chisholm Trail. 150 years ago emerged a vital tale. It helped a fledgling nation grow along the Chisholm Trail. The battles of the Civil War had left the nation frail. Beef would come to help restore along the Chisholm Trail. There came a man named Joe McCoy, whose vision would entail moving of cattle and cowboy along the Chisholm Trail. The longhorn herds were ranging free through Texas hill and vale, but there was opportunity along the Chisholm Trail. So drovers moved the cattle north to meet the Kansas rail. 3 million head would travel forth along the Chisholm Trail. Then Jesse Chisholm freighted goods to Indian tribes for sale. His wagons rolled through mud and woods along the Chisholm Trail. Men followed Chisholm's wagons route through much frontier travail to bring their herds of cattle out along the Chisholm Trail. They fought stampedes and Indian braves, the hazards to curtail. Some left their pards in shallow graves along the Chisholm Trail. It became the nation's story, how cowboys did prevail and earned America's glory along the Chisholm Trail. Their deeds of grit and daring, historians would regale, of bravery unsparing along the Chisholm Trail. So now we pause to celebrate and honor without fail the vision which they did create along the Chisholm Trail. Happy trails.
Healthy cows start with the new Hired Hand automatic livestock sprayer. Rancher invented to provide an efficient alternative to pour-on and injectable parasite management systems. The portable design allows cattle to treat themselves head to hoof. Strategic device placement with pass-through activation technology takes the stress out of parasite treatment for cattle and the rancher. Get the new Hired Hand for yourself or become a distributor. Visit cowsprayer.com. The new Hired Hand makes healthy cows easy.
We started farming in 1970. It was harder work then than it is now, a lot more physical work and the wear and tear on my knees and my body. Now here I'm 70 years old. I started having knee pain here 4 or 5 years ago, and so I was looking for a stem cell clinic, and lo and behold, my good friend John Farley and Ken Wood, who'd been customers and friends for a number of years, opened their clinic, and in about 2 months my heel was a lot better, and then at the end of 3 months and then going on 4, my knee started making significant improvement, and it's sure been a blessing, because before I had the stem cells, I'd be driving a tractor, and if I sat in a tractor for 2 or 3 hours, when I got out I'd have to stop and get the kinks out of my knee and shake it, and today that's not a problem.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help?
How can we help?
To see this show and past episodes of Ag AM in Kansas, go online to agaminkansas.com. Around Kansas, brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. Go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter. Back again.
Well, one of my favorite people we're doing a little segment on today in honor of his retirement, his stepping down from the bench, Federal Judge Richard Rogers. And I had the great honor of interviewing Dick several years ago about his World War II experiences. He was a bombardier in World War II. So I interviewed him about that and got some incredible stories. Just an incredible man. And he, at the age of 93, has stepped down from the bench now. And what a career it's been.
He served honorably and quite a while too.
Absolutely. Let's visit with Dick a little while. Born in Oberlin, Kansas in 1921, Richard Rogers earned his undergrad degree from K-State in 1943 in the middle of World War II. Soon he would be serving in the middle of the war himself. As a bombardier in the U.S. Army Air Corps, Captain Rogers was stationed in Italy and flew his first combat mission in October 1944. By that year's end, he had flown 15 missions targeting industrial areas in Austria, Hungary, Yugoslavia, and Germany. The climax came with the bombing of the Messerschmitt plant at Neuburg, Germany, where a jet was being manufactured that was faster than anything the Allies could put in the sky. The only way to hit it was while it was on the runway. One of his earliest missions was also the scariest. The weather shifted. The sky became so thick with fog as Dick's plane neared the Alps that the squadron leader had to fly by instruments. The pilot was inexperienced and began leading his entire force into a dive. When orders came to turn back, there was just enough light for Dick to see the near misses as planes maneuvered in the clouds. Dick could see planes crashing into the Adriatic Sea. Rumors around the base were that 60 planes had been lost that day, without so much as seeing the enemy. 60 planes, scores of men lost because of inexperience and poor judgment. It was a valuable lesson. Rogers went to KU for his law degree and went into private practice in Manhattan and then taught at K-State. Leadership roles followed as he served as a city commissioner and mayor in Manhattan, county attorney in Riley County, state legislator and senator. He was president of the Kansas State Senate when President Gerald Ford appointed him to the U.S. District Court for Kansas in 1975. His many honors include Distinguished Kansan of the Year by Native Sons and Daughters. School desegregation, prison overcrowding, mandatory sentences for drug dealers, the issues that crowded into his courtroom were those defining our nation. They never seemed to be resolved, but rather evolved. His military experience helped him, said the judge, learn to make decisions. Judge Rogers is retiring after decades of working 70-hour weeks in service to his state and nation. He has earned his rest.
So I guess we're done for this week. Well, we'll be here next week, of course, on Wednesday. So.
We sure will.
And we'll start out in color. We won't try to fool you. So I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
And we'll see you somewhere
around Kansas.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
Red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part